back, fans and viewers of No Holds Barred Podcast. This is more No Holds Barred Podcast here with you. Money in the Bank weekend. We're breaking it down. We're here to predict. We're breaking down the card from the undercard all the way to the main events. And we're going to start with a U.S. title match. The real deal, Titus O'Neil getting his first run at a singles title since being in the WWE versus the United States champion, Rusev. Now, Marcus, you and I have talked about this off camera. What do you think Titus O'Neil's ceiling is, and do you think he wins?
In this match, I think he eventually loses in this match. Because here's the thing. If you take the belt off Rusev, you are going to diminish the U.S. title even more. That title needs to have a consistent and constant and dominant champion. Rusev did get the upper hand on Titus O'Neil on Raw when he attacked him from behind and laid him out with the accolade on the ramp. Now, I think they need to continue that momentum going forward. I don't say he squashes Titus. No. I think they have a good back and forth match. Titus has somewhat of a comeback. Rusev just has either a lucky kick or, I don't know, he gets assistance from Lana, and that can maybe eventually lead to a rematch down the line. And then he hits the accolade on Titus, makes him tap out, looks dominant, does the Russian this, and he starts celebrating. He needs this win.
But in a sense, would you rather diminish Titus O'Neil's momentum? Granted, I mean, he didn't go viral as a superstar, but he has momentum. I think he has more to lose by losing this match than Rusev does losing this match.
Really?
And what's the shame in losing to Titus O'Neil?
No, because he has the belt.
Don't get me wrong.
He just won the belt.
Don't get me wrong.
Just won it.
Don't get me wrong. That's a great point. You don't want a hot potato championship. I agree with that.
It'll feel like a prop.
You do not want a hot potato title at all. I believe in champions having lengthy reigns. But in this particular case, Titus O'Neil's been through a lot, man. Good football background. Yes, you might think that has nothing to do with wrestling, but Vince McMahon loves athletes with other athletic backgrounds from other sports. He has that. Boom. He has the PR, public relations. He does a lot of charity work. Boom. The company likes that too. He's a good locker room guy. Despite that suspension, he's a good locker room guy. Good guy on and off camera. Has the size, has the athleticism, has the look. He has the things the company likes. It's now or never. What are they waiting for? They had him with Darren Young. That was all right at a point. But now that he's free, take advantage. Develop another star. Rusev, if you ask me, Rusev is world title worthy. I feel like he doesn't need the U.S. title. I understand they're trying to build him back up, but Titus O'Neil needs the U.S. title more.
I have like the complete opposite mindset when it comes to that. And I'm going to switch to wrestlers with that sentence you just said. I think Rusev needs the U.S. title more, and Titus needs the world heavyweight title more. Because here's the facts at the end of the day.
But he hasn't won a mid-card title yet. He needs that
I get
to
it.
prove that he can sell a title. You know
I get it,
mean?
but Titus O'Neil's like, 36, 37 years old? He's getting up there in age, so he needs to be pushed up to that main event status right now. He's over. He's been in the company since 2011. He's paid his
veteran,
dues, And I'm not saying just award him the world title because he's a veteran, but he's over. Now, he doesn't need to win it right away, but he needs to have like a journey up the ladder to the world title, and I think that's better suit for Titus. You know, it's a fresh feel. How fresh would it be if Titus O'Neil was our WWE World Heavyweight Champion? It would be a good look,
With the proper build, I do think it would be a good look. I'd also like to point out, Marcus, you didn't know, wrestling analyst Justin LaBar, I participated in his Twitter mailbag where he takes questions from Twitter followers and he answers them on his article. And he answered my question. That's a little fun fact. I was on his mailbag.
Oh, wow.
And even he, one of the better pro wrestling analysts, I think he's the best pro wrestling analyst around. He thinks Titus O'Neil has main event potential too.
Absolutely,
so, you know, hopefully win, lose, or draw, this means good things for Titus O'Neil in his future. But moving on to the next match. Fatal 4-way tag team match, The Club, The New Day, the reigning champions, versus Enzo and Cass, versus the Vaudevillains, versus The Club. Now, I went back and forth on this a lot because each one of these teams brings something to the table. As I said, Marcus, you got the club, they bring their rebel, renegade aggression. You got New Day, they bring their comedy, but they can get serious when the bell rings. You got Enzo and Cass, who are just cocky, smack talkers like Muhammad Ali was, R.I.P. Right. And you got the vaudevillains, the old school throwback team. Man, this has potential to steal the show. If it wasn't for absolutely. A certain once-in-a-lifetime match, this could steal the show. But I do think they're all going to bring it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the club.
What?
The club?
The club?
Hear me out.
The club.
Hear me out.
Gallows and Anderson.
Club,
wow.
The club needs this win, and they will get this win convincingly because at the end of the day, Mr. Who wanted AJ Styles to turn heel.
Now that
you did this, you got to make the club look strong. And to do that, it starts with the club having gold. Well, with those pure tag team titles, bronze.
Yeah.
But it starts with them winning the titles. Have Gallows and Anderson win the titles decisively. You kind of kill two birds with one stone because you help the club look strong, and you give the club an accolade, and you also take the belts off New Day without them necessarily getting pinned, so they still look strong in the process. So I predict the club, Marcus.
Wow.
Prediction.
That's I didn't expect for you to pick them, to be honest with you. The club, don't get me wrong, I'm fans of Gallows and Anderson, I'm fans of AJ Styles. I definitely want them to be a dominant faction in the WWE, but I think there's another team that could benefit a lot by having the tag team titles right now. And just to let you know, spoiler alert, it's not the New Day. I don't want them to win. I mean, honestly, they've had the belts for a good year and some change. You gotta move on. And they'll still be over without the tag team titles. My pick, my selection for who wins the tag team titles in this Fatal 4-Way match at Money in the Bank this Sunday, Enzo Amore and Big Cass. They need this. Here's the deal. They're over. They have catchphrases for days. They have slogans. And most importantly, they got the crowd. They have merchandise sales. They're likable. They can be tough. They can be funny. They could be witty. They could be rated R. I know you guys like that.
They're very versatile.
Very versatile, well-rounded. In my opinion, Enzo and Cass, facts is they've been in the WWE longer than the club, so I think they have that over them at the moment right now. And again, like you said, New Day, they don't need to take this pin. I would choose like the Vaudevillains to take this pin, you know? So, yeah, Enzo and Cass, in my opinion.
I do think Enzo and Cass are worthy tag team champions. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think the company's ready to ride them yet.
Oh, man. What else do you need? In NXT, they were never NXT tag team champions.
Agreed.
So
they're deserving.
They're hungry.
They deserve it. They're hungry, and it's not due to a lack of talent. I just think it's due to not paying your dues on the main roster fully yet. It goes back to that. So I gave the club the edge over them, but they do have an opportunity. They have a golden opportunity. I can't wait to see this match.
Absolutely.
And the Money in the Bank ladder match, the match that we all, look forward to seeing, the ladder match. 6 guys. Well, it was advertised as 7, and then WWE kind of, they dumbed down advertising as 7. So
took the swerve.
For argument's sake, we're going to say this may be a chance a mystery opponent enters, but we got Del Rio, we got Jericho, we got the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose, we got Kevin Owens, we got Sami Zayn, and we got the professional Cesaro. Marcus, I'm going to let you take this one first.
Honestly,
you got winning in this Money in the Bank?
I always like the Money in the Bank match. Anybody could win. I like that. Honestly, who I would choose if I was booking this, and you're going to have to bear with me, the person that needs to win this match is Y2J, Chris Jericho. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now? Here's why. Roman Reigns, right now, I have to drop the catchphrase for you. Roman Reigns is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And after this match with Seth, we'll get to that in a minute. But at the same time, I think Jericho could definitely put over the whoever the winner of the main event of the Money in the Bank match, the heavyweight title championship match is going to be, because Jericho is that formidable. He has multiple title wins under his belt, multiple accolades. He could put over anybody within the company. He's at the top of his game right now with the Drink It In, man. Like, it's entertaining and coming down in the scarf. He's a heel. He's getting a lot of heat right now, but at the same time, he's entertaining. And how much more heat? Imagine this. How much more heat would he get if Owens and Ambrose and Zayn and Cesaro and Del Rio, if they didn't get the belt. He would get a lot of heat for that because I know everybody else would want to see them get the belt. So I think Y2J is the good choice in my opinion. And also he has that claim that he never won the Money in the Bank ladder match. So this would definitely fulfill him. He would come off bragging with this and he would just be that much more of a heel by winning. So make a first time ever moment.
I hate to be like the rest of the IWC getting worked and teased at the Shield interaction on Raw, but I think that was the final piece and the final segment I needed to see to realize that the WWE is finally all in on building towards the Shield triple threat match, and it starts with Dean Ambrose, and he has to win the briefcase, and I think he will win the briefcase to ultimately build towards that three-way dance. But my question is, SummerSlam, I believe they got Battleground after Money in the Bank, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's in July.
Yeah.
And then August is SummerSlam.
Yep.
I'm interested to see if Dean Ambrose is to win the briefcase, what they do with him in the July pay-per-view, which is Battleground, I believe, because if he wins the briefcase, who does he feud with? Do you just kind of just have him hover around Rollins and Reigns, or do you just give him a sideshow feud? Or I'm interested to see this, but point blank, not to get off topic a little bit, I think Dean Ambrose takes this. Ultimately, when he cashes it in, I think he will win the world champion, and we will get the Dean Ambrose we've been looking for.
Wow. So you choose Ambrose to win his cash in, and I choose Y2J to lose his cash in. Interesting.
Yeah.
But all in all, it'll be entertaining. Now, if you found this episode and this segment entertaining, feel free to comment under this video, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and remember,